Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being here, Kent. How about you start off by introducing yourself?
Sure. So my name is Kent Hatcher. I'm currently a senior product manager at Amazon, working in the hardlines private brand space, managing the automotive and tools category. So hardlines is anything that you couldn't consume in one go, and private brands is what most people know as Amazon Basics, and then automotive clearly and tools. So I began my career about 8 years ago, working in the United States Army. As a medical service corps officer, which we abbreviate to MS, obviously, and that kind of translates into miscellaneous service. So I did a lot of different things during my military career, ranging from running medical evacuation for Korea, the northern part of the Korean Peninsula, to um, leading a combat logistics team while deployed to Iraq. And so what that basically taught me is that I enjoy having a wide breadth of experiences, things that are different. Being trained to run a medical team was far different than what I was thrust into when I was deployed to Iraq, which was running logistics for a base of close to 1,000 people. So I think all things having to do with logistics, including cooks, mechanics, uh, truck drivers, fuel, water, supporting all these different soldiers in a very austere environment in northeastern Diyala province, Iraq. And so I had no experience in that, but was essentially dropped in and told, hey, figure it out. And that's super hard to be put in that kind of position without any sort of context or experience and have failure not be an option, because failure would mean someone being hurt or possibly killed or people having to go without essential items. And so what I really learned in that role was that being um, being put into new positions and kind of expanding myself like that, I really enjoy that. I don't like things that are repetitive. I don't want to come to work every day and pull the same lever and have the same ball roll down the hill, etc., to use an awful analogy. But basically, so as I continue to progress through my career in the military and decided to get out, I made the decision to go to business school, and that's kind of where I first learned about product management as a concept. It was really appealing, that aspect of general management, of being essentially a mini CEO of the products that you own. And I began to talk to people, talk to alumni and people in the space, and one person kind of said something that really, it stuck to me to this day. And he said, "Why would I hire you to be a PM when it's not something you've ever done before?" And so it kind of struck me because I disagreed strongly with him of these aspects of being a mile wide and 5 feet deep, being able to quickly pivot, do different things, think strategically and tactically. All the things that go along with being a PM was exactly what I did for 8 years as an Army officer. And so it really stuck with me because I realized I need to learn how to tell this story and make people understand why, while I'm not an engineer or have any product development experience at that time, how my experiences to date translate and how I can push that into being a good PM. So out of business school, my first real job was at Starbucks, as a product manager in a more traditional retail sense, less tech. Something that was as basic as Starbucks itself, which was managing coffee in a retail environment. And so I think that was a good hedgeway or way into the Starbucks company, to be able to start learning about the company itself, how the business is run, how to talk, how to, just like the military has its own lexicon and words, the business world does as well, and each company does as well. And so being able to learn how to communicate within Starbucks, how to um, think in the way that was effective there. It was a great first role. And after about a year, I was able to pivot that into a more tech focused product management role within the Starbucks Delivers team, which was managing the partnership with Uber Eats to roll out delivery of coffee nationally. And I joined that team almost right after a pilot program that was conducted for a proof of concept of coffee delivery, and with the mandate that I would expand the portfolio of stores participating into the program nationally and do it in a timeline that was commensurate with the contract that we had signed with Uber. So essentially in 6 months, we took it from just a handful of markets in major cities to over 80% of the Starbucks footprint, and we was able to unlock a significant amount of cross-marketing spend from Uber Eats. And so that was a huge victory for the company and for myself. And so it kind of further played out and proved out that the experience I had, while atypical and non-traditional, I was able to parlay that into being an effective product leader at Starbucks, both retail, like I said, with coffee, but also in the digital tech space within Uber Eats and beyond. And so after that was done, I was approached about leading the automotive and tools business at Amazon, which again is kind of more traditional retail, albeit e-commerce. But I think, again, as I'm working towards this more traditional product manager or technical product manager type role, the same thought that I had at Starbucks of being able to learn the company, learn the culture, build a network, and then parlay that into steps along my career and keep progressing. And so currently what I do is I manage commercialization of automotive, think aftermarket, launching tools or new tools and under the Amazon Basics brand. And so while also owning a 3-year strategy and road mapping for the categories themselves. So thinking what we currently have in the assortment, what our competitors are doing, and what we should be doing to position ourselves in the next 12, 24, and 36 months to continue to grow the business and continue to provide customers what they want.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I love that overview. What most candidates fail to realize is that the tell me about yourself question is more of a storytelling exercise than a traditional interview question. And here, Ken shows he's a master storyteller. He beautifully explained his career progression from training a medical team in Korea as a part of the armed forces to attending business school to ultimately becoming a product manager. The truly brilliant part of Ken's answer was the nuanced way he weaved Amazon's leadership principles into his story. He first showed that he could learn and be curious by talking about how he wanted to keep learning by attending business school. He then earned trust by being vulnerable and sharing that he didn't have a traditional product background. He even called out how an interviewer once asked him, "Why on earth should I interview someone with no PM experience?" He knew this interviewer might ask him the same question, so he preempted it and skillfully showcased the transferable skills he had learned while wearing many hats in the armed forces. He even demonstrated that he can lead in chaotic environments by citing his experience managing logistics in Iraq. If anything, product management is similarly chaotic, though in a much lower stakes environment. Ken positioned his answer so well that the interviewer probably started thinking, why would I entrust my business to a typical PM when I can put someone who managed a 1,000-person army base in charge? He's just convinced the interviewer that there's nobody better than him to manage chaos and lead in ambiguity. Then he showed that he can deliver big results if given the opportunity, like how he managed that huge partnership between Starbucks and Uber. Note that these are the key skills that Amazon looks for in PMs. The tell me about yourself question is your big opportunity to show that you embody the company's values and have the skills it values the most. Ken did a great job with this for Amazon. You'll probably want to customize your answer based on which company you're interviewing for. If you're interviewing at Facebook, for instance, you'll want to make sure your answer hits on Facebook's favorite values, including moving fast, being bold, having impact, and building social value.
You might be wondering where all the voiceover commentary, analysis, and feedback in this interview lesson came from. Well, this is one of over 70 such lessons we conducted, and in each, we had a rotating panel of 4 calibrated PM interviewers from top companies to analyze, dissect, and critique the interviewer's answer. And then we inserted these insights at key moments during the interview. In Product Alliance's Hacking the PM interview course, you'll get access to all 70-plus interview lessons, complete with whiteboard graphics and expert commentary where you saw here. You'll also get step-by-step tutorials to teach you exactly how to ace each of the 17 types of PM interview questions. Unlike our competitors, we do not offer interview courses for every job under the sun, from software engineering to management consulting. We do one thing and one thing only, creating the best and the highest quality, most up-to-date PM interview resources on the planet. Remember that this video is just the tip of the iceberg. Check out the full Hacking the PM interview course to get every single resource you need to land your dream product job.